respectfully. Brittney Griner was in a Russian prison. You would think that somebody who is now free, back in America on home soil, would not have too much to complain about.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Wnba Core. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Today, I've got another exciting and highly compelling video for you. If you're a true Caitlin Clark fan, you're definitely going to want to watch this one all the way to the end. Before we get started, let us know you're part of the Wnba Core community by commenting CC 100% down below. I love seeing all the passionate Clark supporters in the comments. Now, without taking up any more time, let's dive straight into today's video. After her controversial exchange targeting Caitlin Clark went viral and the WNBA initially tried to brush it aside, Brittney Griner ultimately faced accountability in a major way. The ultimate outcome was just served up by karma. If you appreciate content like this, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Believe it or not, over 90% of our viewers haven't hit that subscribe button yet. It's completely free, takes just a second, and helps us out tremendously. Have you subscribed already? Awesome! Thank you so much for your support. Now, back to the story. The Indiana Fever played against the Atlanta Dream. Indiana Fever is where Caitlin Clark plays, while Atlanta Dream is where Brittney Griner was featured in this matchup. Now, take a look and tell me what it looks like Brittney Griner is saying right here. The ticky-tack fouls we were discussing earlier today. For a bit of context, this took place during the fourth quarter after Griner fouled out against Caitlin Clark, with the Fever going on to secure the victory by 5 points. Now, let me share what I believe was said. Let's re-examine the footage. It appears to me like she's saying trash and then labeling Caitlin Clark a white girl. Just as a reminder, this is the individual who was brought back in the high-profile prisoner exchange. So many league figures seem to hold friction against Caitlin Clark, even though she is undeniably the single best development for the WNBA's visibility. And her impact isn't because of her background, it's her draw. The league office, which had been shielding the situation for weeks, recently made a move that completely alters the dynamic. Griner may very well be facing a major setback in her professional career. It is notable to observe these accountability measures taking place rather than watching the league overlook its own standards. In all honesty, consequences were bound to follow. The moment has arrived, and Griner is finding out that actions carry real repercussions. Following a period where the WNBA appeared passive regarding the incident with Clark, league officials recently took a stance that sent shockwaves across the sports community. The administration that went to great lengths to avoid controversy has now been forced to address the matter, resulting in significant fallout. If you want to alienate potential viewers from watching women's basketball, ignoring these issues is a fast way to do it. If the league allows hostility toward its prime attraction, it creates serious long-term challenges. There is a growing debate across mainstream media outlets regarding how selective accountability is handled in professional sports. Prominent commentators have spent considerable time pointing out double standards in athletic discipline. Let's examine the trigger behind this sudden shift in momentum. After fouling out during the Fever matchup against Clark, Griner was captured on camera expressing intense frustration. Footage from the broadcast showed her directing heated remarks toward Clark. Analyzing the clip, many viewers concluded she used derogatory language during the heated moment. It doesn't take an expert lip reader to decipher the sequence where Griner expressed her anger on court. Naturally, commentators pointed out that if roles were reversed, the disciplinary fallout would have been immediate and absolute. Yet, initial responses were remarkably muted. The video proof was widely circulated, with various sports analysts reviewing the footage while fans debated the obvious intent. However, in an attempt to protect a marquee veteran, initial official statements remained vague. Rather than addressing the issue head-on, leadership appeared hesitant, especially following prior investigations into crowd behavior. They downplayed public outcry, hoping the narrative would fade from the headlines after a major figure was caught acting unprofessionally on live television. But public pressure has a way of ensuring transparency, and the protective umbrella around the situation quickly deteriorated. During recent interviews, players have voiced mixed opinions about disciplinary actions across the league. Some athletes acknowledged that misconduct naturally carries consequences, accepting short-term suspensions while questioning whether penalties are applied equally across all roster levels. Meanwhile, Griner's recent scrutiny stems not just from a single incident, but from a growing pattern that commentators and fans find difficult to overlook. This is the same athlete who previously expressed frustration over increased noise levels in arenas, right as record-breaking audiences began tuning in. It reflects a puzzling disconnect when rising fan engagement is met with irritation rather than appreciation. Her public statements have repeatedly drawn criticism, leaving fans feeling alienated after supporting her international return. Every lost opportunity serves as a reminder of how quickly composure can impact professional standing. What makes this turn of events so notable is the commercial reality. The WNBA can no longer afford to insulate high-profile players when corporate backing is on the line. Mainstream sports fans brought in by Caitlin Clark expect professional standards. Clark has generated unprecedented revenue, television ratings, and ticket sales. In the end, political protection was outpaced by financial reality and sponsor expectations. Social media erupted once official reviews were acknowledged, as many believed veteran stars operated with total immunity. Throughout recent seasons, controversial statements and dismissive attitudes went largely unchecked. However, standard protocols eventually catch up when financial stakes elevate. The narrative of untouchability has finally shattered. Game broadcasts continue to highlight performance metrics, but conversations keep steering back to league conduct policies. Networks and corporate sponsors prefer not to be associated with unsportsmanlike behavior or racial hostility during primetime broadcasts. Ultimately, league executives realize that failing to enforce conduct rules was far more damaging than disciplining a star athlete. Financial incentives speak louder than rhetoric. Standard player contracts have always contained explicit morality and sportsmanship clauses allowing for fines or suspensions. Leadership possessed the authority all along, they simply delayed exercising it until public and financial pressure became overwhelming. While delayed action is frustrating, enforcing standards remains essential for league credibility. Defenders and team representatives have tried to minimize the incident, arguing that intensity and heat-of-the-moment situations should be pardoned, or that broadcast angles were inconclusive. Yet, none of those excuses change what millions witnessed on high-definition replays. Spin cannot erase broadcast video. Fans who demanded equal treatment for weeks view these developments as a long-overdue step toward fairness. After watching standard double standards play out, seeing firm action feels like a return to baseline integrity. Sports commentators who previously doubted the league's commitment to its stated values are now reassessing the situation. This sets an undeniable precedent for the WNBA's future. No player, regardless of tenure or history, operates above established conduct policies. That level of structural accountability is precisely what professional organizations need to retain credibility with broad audiences. It forces sports media to confront their own biases in how they cover different athletes. Media coverage surrounding player discipline has been revealing. Several outlets initially downplayed or completely buried the sideline footage. Now, they are forced to report on official inquiries they previously claimed were unnecessary. The gap between corporate media framing and public perception has never been wider. Beyond court play, financial ramifications extend into off-court endeavors. Endorsement opportunities contract, brand partnerships are quietly phased out, and public appearances diminish when controversial behavior goes unaddressed. Unchecked conduct on camera creates lasting professional damage in modern sports marketing. This situation also highlights how past marketing initiatives like "No Space for Hate" risk looking like performative PR when clear violations are ignored. A campaign's integrity relies entirely on consistent enforcement. Hypocrisy becomes obvious when extreme public pressure is required to enforce basic sportsmanship. Furthermore, the backdrop of high-profile international diplomacy amplifies public frustration over ungracious behavior. When extraordinary national efforts are made to support an athlete, the public expects a higher degree of respect and professionalism in return. The realization that league protection has limits sends a clear signal across all franchises. Players accustomed to pushing boundaries are now recognizing that conduct guidelines will actually be enforced. Fear of financial and career consequences remains a powerful tool for maintaining professional decorum. The timing of this scrutiny coincides with critical league expansions, television negotiations, and corporate renewals. Broadcasters and corporate sponsors simply will not tolerate unaddressed toxicity during high-stakes contract talks. Financial logic made accountability mandatory. Online response to official reviews has been overwhelmingly supportive of strict enforcement. Fans eager for genuine standards are welcoming the shift, proving that upholding integrity is both ethically correct and commercially necessary. Should formal appeals or legal challenges arise, clear contractual language and broadcast evidence make overturning conduct penalties nearly impossible. Attempting to contest clear footage only prolongs negative coverage. Team executives and general managers are now forced to factor behavioral risk into roster construction, re-evaluating the cost-benefit ratio of roster turmoil versus brand protection. On an international scale, high-profile player controversies impact how American sports leagues are viewed globally. Maintaining strict conduct standards projects professionalism to international broadcasting partners. For the fan base, seeing rules applied consistently restores confidence that the game's integrity comes first. For any veteran athlete, facing sudden accountability after years of leniency is a harsh reality check. Being held to standard league rules after enjoying privileged status marks a dramatic shift in narrative. Moving forward, the key test for the WNBA is consistency. If this represents a permanent standard, the league's reputation will strengthen. If it remains an isolated PR management move, skepticism will return. Sponsors react swiftly to protect their brand equity. Corporate America avoids brand damage at all costs, especially in an era where clips go viral instantly. For Caitlin Clark, who has focused purely on basketball despite surrounding noise, seeing official standards upheld brings a measure of fairness. She deserves to compete in an environment where professional respect is enforced equally for everyone. Coaches and team staff are also navigating delicate positions, balancing loyalty to their roster while avoiding association with indefensible actions. Staff members who once looked the other way are now stepping back to protect their own standing. For agents and sports marketers, managing clients with conduct liabilities becomes increasingly difficult, as brands demand clean slates before signing multi-million-dollar deals. As career timelines advance, unaddressed controversies accelerate retirement discussions and tarnish long-term legacies. Years of athletic accomplishments can quickly become overshadowed by moments of poor sportsmanship. In the historical record, conduct off and on the court defines how an athlete is remembered. Comparing this case to past disciplinary actions reveals how star power previously created uneven rules. Enforcing guidelines universally reinstates equal treatment. Thorough reviews of broadcast angles, official reports, and witness statements provided an undeniable foundation for league action, leaving no room for dismissive excuses. Ultimately, public relations missteps carry real costs. One player's conduct can undermine years of collective effort by players, staff, and marketers working to grow the league. Applying clear standards protects the entire ecosystem. As educational programs or sportsmanship guidelines are mandated for returning players, the necessity of basic respect becomes clear to all involved. Witnessing natural consequences balance out entitlement provides a sense of resolution to fans who value fair play. No individual is bigger than the sport itself. Brittney Griner and the rest of the league are discovering that public accountability eventually catches up with everyone. What are your thoughts on this situation? Do you feel the league handled this accountability properly? Share your views in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to WNBA Core for all the latest updates and coverage.